Good morning. It's Saturday, March 27th. And I just had a lot on my heart to start sharing videos again and sharing information and just sharing my perspective. A little bit about myself. So my birthday is in like 3 days. I'll be 29. I'm from Oregon, Pendleton. I played hockey my whole life. And I mean that hockey and golf, and that created a lot of stuff. So I played hockey in college and still play hockey. But I went to engineering school. I got my engineering degree in like 2015. Lived up in Seattle for a couple of years. Worked at an engineering firm there. I digress. I live in Phoenix, Arizona now, and I have a duty to truth. I cannot sit idle anymore because human safety is at risk. And it seems very apparent to me that safety and liberation are the true path of the human being. We need to step into love here and quit being so egotistical with the distortion. So these videos that I want to share are always going to be to liberate you and to free you and to give you more space to connect and to give you more space to be who you are. I don't intend to close you down or tell you you can't do something unless it hurts or harms another human being. And that is my goal, is to not perpetuate suffering. And there's a lot of things that can perpetuate suffering. But telling the truth is not one of them. And I mean, I'll never sit here and tell you that I know it all, because that would be such an unconscious thing to say, because people are specialized. Not one human being could know it all. So to call someone a know-it-all is a very unconscious thing to do. Because if you get to the point of where you see like how vast information is, you understand that it's okay to not know it all. It's impossible to know it all. It really is impossible. And so I'll repeat myself. This video is to liberate you. It's to free you. It's to give you space. It's to create space for you to be yourself. To be the pure, sovereign perspective that you need, that we all need, to create understanding in this macrocosm of the universe, and to give compassion to other perspectives. To stop getting stuck in righteousness about, this is where I stand, this is where I need to be, and this is right. And it is right. It's your right to be right. It is your sovereign, human, it's inherently your right to feel a certain way. But I think the thing that we need to see is that your suffering and my suffering are not separate. That would be to say, the counter argument to that would be, you feel nothing, you would feel no emotion at my birth or my death. And we just know as a collective that is not true. We learned that last year when Kobe Bryant died. The whole collective felt the cataclysmic wave of emotion, of grief. And so to say that your actions do not affect people is very unconscious. It's just not true. And this distortion lies in ego, in separateness, in hyper uniqueness, in hyper labeling, in hyper sovereignty, because you are stuck in an illusion of separation where you are unique. And we are all unique. But saying that truth, on the other hand, could mean that we're all the same in our uniqueness. Like, we're all humans. We all have hearts. We all have blood vessels. We all have, not all of us have hair, but you get what I'm saying. Like, this isn't about the hyper individual ego and the distortion and the control. Like, that's what it's a trauma response, is when you're trying to control everything. When you believe that everything is for your benefit, there is nothing to control. You see it all as equally beneficial. That light implies dark. Contrast implies wisdom. You cannot have one without the other and be knowing. That lacks awareness. And I know that this video is long and it's a lot of nonsense. I just wanted to reintroduce myself and maybe give you a touch of what I see and share the piece that I have. You can hate this video all you want. Go ahead. I'd actually enjoy it. It's kind of funny. Hate is very destructive and toxic. It's kind of pointless. So please take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. I'm not perfect at all. I have stuff to work on. I have preferences. I enjoy cars, obviously. And I love what I do. And I'm here to share that with you, to make it okay for you to be a sovereign perspective for the collective, and stop trying to make everybody accept you where you are, and then the rest will come. I hope you have a wonderful Saturday. I'm going to continue to do these videos. I'm going to try to just do daily updates on what I see in the collective and what I see from my perspective. And my goal is always to liberate you, free you, to share community, to share harmony, to share unity, and just really bring peace on earth. I think that's all we're looking for. But peace on earth is never going to come from a toxic, energetic place where you're straining for somebody to change. When I see people hyper individualize and hyper they're reaching for acceptance, and that comes from a place of non-acceptance, and that non-acceptance breeds more non-acceptance. So they don't accept themselves on the inside, but they're trying to get the outside right, and then the outside will accept them so that they can accept themselves on the inside. And it doesn't work like that. It's actually the opposite of how it works. When you accept who you are from loving awareness, you pull people who gravitate towards you. You pull acceptance in. When you are radiating non-acceptance, that's all that shows up. So please, from loving awareness, please be grateful today. We have, if you're watching this at all, I assume you have water, you have clothing, you have shelter, you have a vast majority of luxuries that a lot of the world doesn't have, and that is beautiful. And please, if being grateful there is where you start, please be grateful there. I love you. Enjoy your Saturday. Please comment. Do whatever you enjoy today, and let's create peace on earth.